Hi guys, how you doing? So this is the video I promised you, and this is what you're going to get to see. Alright, we're going to go with the unbagging of this machine, and we're going to tune it with the minimal amount of parts that you possibly can get on eBay, probably for another $3. So you take your $5 machine, you end up with an $8 machine that you can line with. We're going to go over the coils and the little basics there, but first we're going to see what happens right out of the box. So take our $5 machine here, take it out of the box. Yeah, get rid of the paper. And as normal, right off the bat. Yeah, you gotta love that, don't you? Alright, now you get your handy dandy little tools over here. Get the right socket in there. And let's tighten up the contact screw. Okay, we get that right about there. Tighten up the contact screw. That's not too bad. Alright, well, and there's a little gap to it. It is a liner. Boy, that front spring is... Whoop. Got a little problem in the back here. Another contact post, of course, yep. Par for course. What do you want for $5, right? Gotta love this. Okay, got that tightened down. What else we got? Front coil, rear coil. Let's tighten that up. There we go. Now let's give it a test run and see what we've got right out of the box. Yeah, look at that. Had to spend all that time doing that. Alright, let's start around 4 volts, see what happens. As we all know, my machines run at 4 to 5 volts. So let's see what this does. Here we go. Oh, it runs. Oh, no, it don't. Oh. Alright, well, we gotta run it up to 5. Nope. Nope. Ooh, listen to this thing. Oh my god, this is gonna rattle itself apart. Yeah, look at this, look at this. Alright, well, let's crank it way up there. Everybody else does. Yeah, that 8. Yeah, but, my god, listen to this thing. Where we gotta run it to? 9? 9, 9. Oh, starting to hit a little bit. Bring it up. Alright, well. I wonder what we got in spring tension right out of the box. Well, we'll give it a little check here. Yes, I checked my spring tension with a scale. It's digital. There's no guessing to it. Get rid of that grommet. And it's at 2 grams. And what we got? Yeah, 1.3. 165, 170 grams. And for a liner, you're looking between around 425 is what I run mine at. But yeah, this. By the time you were bend this spring to be 425, it'd be way up here, and probably wouldn't run with a. Oh, there's another thing right there. See the contacts? This shouldn't be really straight. It should just drop down just under parallel. Just under parallel it should drop. So, alright. Let's have some fun. Let's do this with the minimal amount of parts. We're going to pop off this. And I'm going to use a couple tools that you might not have, but it just makes my job easier. So we're going to pull this apart. There you go. And I've taken away that. Now we're left here. And like I said, that was a little too high there. So let's drop this. What they got under there? Looks like they got 2 shims under there. Now let's take one of those out. Shim Shim Hooray. Huh? Oh, wrong song? Okay, sorry. And I'll put that back together. Now see, some of the problems with these machines, with these coils, it's real easy. See the windings? See the windings? How loose everything is? If it's not really tight, it's not really going to work that well, because on top of the loose winding, right, here's one without anything on it. Right, it's got a bobbin that goes over, and when you have something like that, right, and you take your magnet, and it, look, see this? See that? Now watch this. This is one of my coil cords. See? See the difference? Look at this. Look at this. Right? And when you look at how this is wound, it's like an aluminum wire. It's really just look at this. Look at this. Now when you're when you got something that's good, see that? See that? This is the total difference in how a machine runs. But we're going to get this one right here to actually line. So we're going to use a little bit bigger armature bar. Yeah. We're just going to get that spring back a little bit more. We're going to use a couple of springs that you can get on eBay for like $1.50. Come in a set, $1.50 from overseas. Okay, China. And when I put these together, this is just a little thing I like to do. I put 2 washers right here, 2 washers, and we'll put that on the armature bar. It'll take that rear spring and drop it under that 1 washer, and then the front spring I put in between the 2 washers and separating it from the rear one, because it just gives me a little bit more oomph. You take it. You can do this without this, but I'm just so used to using it. We'll put it back in. We'll line everything up. So everything here, being I used the old hex nut over, armature bar was like $1, and you got $1.50 here, so you know it's $2.50 and a couple washers. Everybody's got washers laying around. That's no big deal. All right, so that armature bar is back together. We'll drop. It just makes it chatter less. Also, what happens is people say it changes the noise. Well, it does, because it changes the fulcrum of where the spring actually springs off of. Instead of being way back here, it's now shortened it up to come here. That's just one of the things you'll figure out. And you notice where it contacted before to where it contacts now. Big difference. Okay. We're going to line this up on top of the coils, because it's a liner. So we're trying to get this gap here closed up. So we closed it up a little bit by using a little bit longer armature bar, and these springs went back a little further. Actually, in all real, this gap should only be maybe that much. But with these cheap machines, like I said, now you're dealing with $5. So, all right, we're gonna. Being you probably don't have an alignment tool, I won't use one either. Being you don't have an alignment tool, or I don't have an alignment tool, what you do is you can take your tube, open up your vise, stick your tube way up, and get it to line up. See that? Got it lined up. Now we'll just tighten down like we did. Now that, if you notice from before, the armature bar just drops a little bit. Just a little bit. Now we need to reposition the front binding post so we can get up on that spring. Sorry guys. Yeah, it's a little cold here in Florida today. A whole 66 degrees and people are walking around with sweaters on. Oh my God, what are we going to do with them? Yep. Here's another little problem. See that? You see how far that's over? And so let's go over here and we'll get another washer out. We'll see an extra washer. We'll get that closer. But you want that to be as centered as possible, if not perfect. So we're just going to pull it off. Really can't tell what capacitor this has on it. Like I said, you know, there's a nice overseas machines, China. They could tell you one thing and it could be another. I mean, wires, like for the power supply that I have sitting here, great power supply. Just had to change the cord in the back of it because the cord that came with it only had about 3 or 4 wires in it. And I wasn't getting 100%. So after changing the wire in the back, it works perfectly. The other thing you want is a 10 turn. That means this knob here turns 10 times. This way you can, you can get that down to, So let's see, here we go. See that? Look at that. One washer, we got her right in the center. Now we just got to do a gap. Like to start them out. I start them at roughly a dime. Yes, you've heard it before. You're going to hear it again. Starting at roughly a dime. That doesn't mean that's where it's going to stay. I'm going to start it at a dime. We're going to set it up and see what happens. Alright. Let's see what the springs are. We're going to go back here. I'm going to give it a little check. Let's see what the spring turns out to be. $4.25. So, like I said, at $4.25, we now have a cutback lining machine. And let's see what the cutback lining machine runs unloaded. We will load this. We will set it up for tattooing. So, let's see what we got. We're at 10 volts. Remember how the other machine sounded? Now let's turn this puppy down. Well, the other one started at 4. And we'll work our way up. These springs are a little bit thicker than the other ones, so these coils are going to work just a little bit harder. Here we go. Do you hear a difference? Alright, we're going to bring it up to Alright, looks like we can open this up a little bit. What you're looking for here is a figure 8. Right here and here between these two, you should see a figure 8, and it should ghost. See how it ghosts right here? You can see the 2 armature bars. And we're at 5. Needs a little bit more. So like I said, these coils probably aren't, 100%. They're probably working at maybe 40, 45%, if that. We'll bring her up. You can hear the difference already in this machine. On all of what we've done is change the gap here, change the spring, $1.50 spring, and $1 armature bar from eBay, and then reset everything to a specification. And let's see, we'll get her up to what, 6.5? Look at that. Hear it? It's not stalling anymore, it's running properly, and all we've done is springs, armature bar, and changing the gap here. Small stuff. The tension on the rear spring, 425 grams. Let's see, we'll go up. Now this is freewheeling, it's on. So let's load it up. Let's put a needle and tube on it with a rubber band and let's see what we get out of her. I mean, how long did this really take? 10 minutes? But, alright. And we'll get a needle and tube in it, set the needle depth, just like you're going to tattoo. This is how I tune all my machines. Not just like that, but you get it. Yeah, set your needle depth to start out right about just to where you can just see the tip. And then you take a little look. And a little bit less. And let's see. There you go. Yep. That's a little bit short, but we're just doing a test. We'll grab a rubber band. On a machine like this, with a nice big needle, one band will do. You're just trying to keep it from jumping around into the edge of the tube. You're not trying to hold it back or hold it down or rest it, you know. It's just that easy. Alright, let's see what she runs out loaded. I would say 7.5, maybe 8 volts top loaded. Ooh. Now you ask how I hold my machine. There's down on the middle finger. Okay? These are the only fingers that are really going to touch. You're going to guide it around like this. And I rest it back here on my hand. Not out here so it can wobble and weeble. This here you go. Look, you see this? You see this? No. Start doing this, and I guarantee the lines will come out straighter. Look at this. See? I line like that. And this is only 6.5 volts, and this is unbelievable. This is that same machine that was cranked up to, what, 10? Okay? I'm going to go to 7.5. And this is a dry needle. I'm going to go to 7.5. This is why you want a 10 turn. You can really dial these in really nice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Remember what it was like? So, cheap coils, cheap machine, $5. I would tattoo with this machine. I bet you I can line with this with no problem. Let's see. It's got some power behind it for just a $5 machine cost. $5 on eBay. I've got maybe $3 in parts in it. $8. And anybody can line with this machine now. So we'll go over it when you've got a bobbin coil, or good coils. And you got cheap wire on some cheap coils, and good wire and good coils, good cores. You know what the capacitor rating is. Nothing's loose on this, so it doesn't chatter. A little bit of chatter you get is from the bobbin actually moves up and down, and it's unbelievable. You know, some of the fixes for that, if you got one of these and the bobbin's turning around, take it off, put a little super glue under it, give it a turn, boom, it works. But like I said, you know, when you're dealing with something like this that sticks that hard, and something like this that just pops right off, of course that coil is going to be pretty weak. But as you saw, with minimal parts, you got a nice running, however many wraps that is. They're probably going to say 10. Mine are 6 and 8. But there it is. Look at that. Oh, and yeah, that little trick of putting steel wool up here does absolutely nothing. Don't pay attention to somebody when you saw that video. There is no way a piece of steel wool is going to change the magnetic ability of a piece of crap coil. What you need is the spacing proper. See how it falls? Everything falls in place. Everything is square. There you go. That took minutes to fix something that you've been struggling with for years. So if you go over it again, remember, armature bar, junk springs, making sure armature bar just has a little drop on it. You can see it. You can see it right there. Just drops just under level. And I took a machine that was running 10 volts and sounded like a chatterbox to a machine that you could tattoo with today. So that's the end of this video. The next one, check it out probably in about a week. I'll do a shader for you. This way, at least then you've got 2 machines that you can actually use. And thank y'all for watching. Hit me back. Let me know what you think.